Hey, I wanted to show y'all how we're gonna do waivers this year instead of just on a waiver list where when you claim a player you move to last on the list. We're gonna do it with free agent acquisition budgeting. I want to go over the rules and a few scenarios and some tips on how to do it. The major rules is where each team is going to start with a $100 virtual budget that is going to be tracked in the app or online. It's not real money or anything like that. And for players that we want to pick up, we'll place blind bids every week. So I won't know what Terry's bidding, and Dean won't know what Bub is bidding or anything like that. So it's just blind bids on players. And whoever bids the highest wins, and the amount that they bid is subtracted from their budget. If you want players but you don't want to spend money for them, you can actually place $0 bids. And after waivers clear on Wednesday morning, you can still pick up free agents for free, just like normal, without deducting any money from your virtual budget. So let's say in scenario one, let's say Alvin Kamara gets hurt in game one and Latavius Murray is still available. Well, in the old waiver system, at least in week one, it would be the reverse order of draft position. So since Miles is picking last in the draft this year, he would have first choice at Latavius Murray. None of us would probably be able to pick him up because Miles would most likely pick him. And Miles would add him to his team and be moved to the end of the waiver list. In the new system, the one we're going to try this year, we would each place bids. And so let's say Miles, Terry, and Dean are all interested in Latavius Murray. This is their budget at the beginning of the season, and these are their bids. You can see that Dean bid $40, so he's the highest bidder. $40 would be deducted from his budget, and he'd end up with a $60 budget remaining. He would add Latavius Murray to his team, and Dean would be moved to the end of the waiver list. Let's say two teams bid the same amount on the same player. So let's say later in the season, Joey and Marie, these are their budgets, and they each bid $10 for a player. Uh, in this case, the team that's higher on the waiver list wins. So let's say Marie at this point in the season is higher on the waiver list, and so $10 would be deducted from her budget, and she'd have $30 left. She acquires the player and moves to the bottom of the waiver list. In scenario three, let's say you want to pick up a player, but you don't want to spend any money. Let's say Bubba and Ethan at this point in the season have $70 and $10 respectively. Nobody else bids on that particular player. They each bid $0, hoping that nobody else is bidding anything. Um, Keep in mind that if somebody else would bid $1, even just $1, they'd win the bid because they're the highest bidder. But in this case, let's say they both bid $0. Let's say Bub is higher on the waiver list in this case. He wins that player, and he doesn't get anything deducted from his budget because he bids 0. So he acquires the player and he moves to the end of the waiver list. Like I said, I think this will add more strategy and be a little bit more fun. Some things to consider is that if you spend early on breakout players, you may not have much FAAB left for playoffs and players you might need to win playoffs. If you don't spend enough early, you might miss on breakout players that might help you win the season, but you might pick up, a late breaker, or you might be able to block your opponent from picking up a player that he might need at the end of the season. You might want to try bids like $11 or $16 or $21 because most people in these leagues tend to bet like 10 or 5, multiples of 5. So you you can win a bid with $11 if everybody else is betting 10. Another suggestion is go ahead and read FAAB articles. So type in FAAB fantasy football or read Reddit blogs for advice. I read a few of those and they have real good advice on strategy and how the system works. And if you have any questions or concerns, just email me or text me. Uh, Hope we have a great year. Thanks.